Imagine a predator so powerful that a single bite could crush a car door like a soda can. For decades, the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex was believed to have the strongest bite in the history of life on Earth. Museums, documentaries, and school books all echoed the same awe-inspiring figure, 12,000 pounds of bite force. But what if that number engraved in the minds of millions wasn't entirely accurate? What if our understanding of Tyrannosaurus's bite was built on outdated assumptions, missing data, and a bit of wishful thinking? Recent studies are shaking the foundations of everything we thought we knew. Paleontologists are revisiting fossils, running new simulations, and discovering that the true story is far more complex and even more terrifying. The T-Rex didn't just rely on brute force. Its jaws may have been a marvel of evolutionary engineering, combining power, precision, and deadly efficiency. In this video, we're going to uncover the real science behind T-Rex's legendary bite and why we might have been wrong for years. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the king of dinosaurs. So where did the famous 12,000 pounds of bite force claim even come from? It wasn't plucked out of thin air. It originated from computer models created in the early 2000s. Back then, researchers used scans of T-Rex skulls, estimated muscle sizes, and applied mechanical formulas to simulate bite pressure. The result? A staggering bite force of 400 kilograms, about 12,000 pounds. That number made headlines and stuck. It was dramatic, media-friendly, and easy to visualize. But early models had limitations. They relied heavily on comparisons with living reptiles like crocodiles and assumed certain muscle arrangements based on modern animals. More importantly, they often ignored how bones flex, how muscles actually attach and function, or how soft tissues behaved under stress. Today's science has moved far beyond those early estimates. Advanced 3D modeling, better fossil records, and comparisons with bird anatomy, T-Rex's closest living relatives, have revealed a more nuanced picture. It turns out the bite of a T-Rex may not have been as simple as raw force. It was a dynamic system, with muscles working in coordination to generate deadly precision, not just power, and that changes everything we thought we knew. Thanks to modern tools like finite element analysis, FEA, scientists can now simulate how stress and pressure flow through bone during a bite. Essentially, they can watch a T-Rex bite in slow motion from the inside out. These digital simulations take into account everything from muscle tension to skull flexibility. And the results are surprising. Instead of a uniform crunch, the T-Rex's bite seems to work like a series of coordinated levers, directing force exactly where it's needed, usually to crack through bone. That's right, T-Rex wasn't just biting to wound, it was biting to shatter. Fossils of its prey, like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus, show clear signs of punctured bones, crushed ribs, and even shattered skulls. This bone-breaking behavior is rare in modern predators. Even lions and bears rarely bite through bone, but T-Rex made it a habit. This specialized biting strategy likely gave it access to nutrients other carnivores couldn't reach, like marrow deep inside bones. Its skull, once thought to be rigid, now appears to have had shock-absorbing joints that allowed it to survive such brutal bites without injuring itself. Evolution didn't just give T-Rex a powerful bite, it gave it a biomechanical weapon. Now here's where things get controversial. Was T-Rex truly the apex biter of all time? Or have we overlooked competitors with even more formidable bites? Some scientists argue that prehistoric crocodilians like Dinosuchus or Purosaurus may have delivered even more powerful bites, perhaps reaching 20,000 pounds. But there's a catch: crocodilians bite with force, not finesse. Their jaws are built like traps, great for crushing, but not for tearing or maneuvering. T-Rex, on the other hand, had a more versatile arsenal. Its teeth weren't sharp blades, they were thick, banana-shaped spikes capable of withstanding extreme pressure, and unlike crocodiles, it could twist, pull, and reposition its bite mid-attack. That made Rex a master of damage control, delivering targeted trauma to bring down even massive prey. In terms of bite force, relative to skull size and function, Rex may still reign supreme. Its skull was built not just for strength, but for control, an evolutionary compromise between brute force and hunting precision. So, yes, Rex might not have had the absolute highest bite force, but it had the deadliest bite design of any known land predator. Some of the most compelling evidence for Rex's biting abilities doesn't come from computer models or simulations, it comes from fossils themselves. Paleontologists have found bones of prey animals that show clear tooth marks, punctures, and breakage consistent with a high-force bite. But here's the twist. They've also found Rex bones with similar bite marks. This suggests that Rex wasn't above biting its own kind, possibly during territorial disputes, mating rituals, or even cannibalism. In one case, a Rex femur was found with deep tooth marks that matched the spacing and shape of Rex teeth. The bone had started to heal, indicating the victim survived the attack at least temporarily. These fossil clues give us rare glimpses into dinosaur behavior, not just anatomy. Rex was likely a violent animal, not just with prey, but with rivals. Its bite wasn't just for hunting, it was a tool for dominance. And it was reliable. No other land predator left such consistent damage in the fossil record. These scars tell a story more powerful than any guess or theory. The bite of Rex left a mark not only on bones, but on the ecosystem it ruled. Let's talk teeth, because the bite force is only part of the story. Rex had around 50 to 60 massive teeth, some up to 12 inches long, including the root. But it wasn't their size that made them lethal, it was their structure. These teeth weren't razor sharp like those of a shark. Instead, they were thick, conical, and serrated, perfect for withstanding pressure without snapping. In fact, a single Rex tooth could exert pressures of over 400,000 pounds per square inch at the point of contact. That's enough to crack bones clean in half. Serrations along the edges, known as denticles, help the teeth grip and slice through flesh with each bite. More impressively, the teeth were continually replaced throughout its life, ensuring sharpness was never lost. But here's the real killer. Recent studies show that some teeth had internal ridges like structural beams to prevent them from fracturing under stress. This made them like biological crowbars, capable of prying open rib cages or skulls, combined with that monstrous bite. Rex's teeth formed a perfect system for disabling prey quickly and efficiently. This wasn't just a predator, it was a biomechanical nightmare. Hollywood has shaped how we think about Rex's bite, but often not in a scientifically accurate way. In movies like Jurassic Park, Rex is shown biting once and tossing prey like a rag doll. While that makes for thrilling cinema, it doesn't align with fossil evidence. In reality, Rex likely bit repeatedly and with precision. It didn't waste energy with a wild thrashing. Instead, it crushed bones with calculated bites, then tore meat away in chunks. Another myth that Rex had trouble catching prey. While it wasn't the fastest dinosaur, it didn't need to be. Its bite force and strategy meant that one well-placed bite could disable even the largest herbivores. Think of it more like a bear trap than a cheetah. And let's not forget size distortion. Rex is often portrayed as a sluggish giant. In truth, it had powerful leg muscles, a center of gravity balanced over its hips, and a body optimized for short bursts of speed enough to ambush. By focusing only on size and power, pop culture has missed the real terror of Rex, its evolved precision and devastating efficiency. To understand the T-Rex bite, we have to look at evolution's long game. T-Rex didn't emerge overnight. Its lineage traces back through earlier tyrannosaurids, smaller, faster, and less powerful predators. Over millions of years, evolution sculpted the perfect apex predator: longer teeth, stronger jaws, and a skull that could absorb more force than any of its ancestors. One breakthrough was in jaw mechanics. Muscles evolved to pull in unison from multiple angles, giving the jaw not just vertical force, but rotational power. This meant T-Rex could twist its bite, a tactic seen in Komodo dragons today. Evolution also minimized weak points. The nasal bones fused for added strength. The lower jaw had a hinge-like joint for shock absorption. Everything about its skull screams optimization. And evolution didn't waste energy on things it didn't need. Rex had tiny arms because its bite was its true weapon. It didn't wrestle prey, it crushed it. What we see in T-Rex is a rare convergence of brute power, anatomical efficiency, and evolutionary refinement. It wasn't just another dinosaur, it was the final form of a deadly design. Despite decades of research, the T-Rex bite force remains a hot topic among paleontologists. Some argue for even higher estimates, suggesting over 13,000 pounds. Others think the number is slightly inflated, and that real-world conditions would reduce the effective force. But what's important isn't just the number, it's how the force was used. New fossil discoveries and better modeling techniques continue to reshape the picture. For instance, recent finds in Montana suggest bite damage not only on prey, but also on T-Rex nests, implying possible intraspecies violence or even cannibalism. Meanwhile, AI-assisted simulations are allowing scientists to test hypothetical scenarios. What if Rex bit at different angles? What if it targeted different parts of the body? These questions are moving us away from the idea of a single bite force number and toward a more complex understanding of behavior, strategy, and biomechanics. It's no longer about just how hard it bit, but how smartly it bit. In many ways, the mystery of the T-Rex bite is still unfolding, and every new discovery challenges what we thought we knew. After all this, we come back to the question, were we wrong about the T-Rex's bite force? The answer is yes and no. The 12,000-pound figure wasn't fake. It was simply the best estimate of its time. But what we've learned since then paints a deeper, more fascinating story. T-Rex's bite wasn't just strong, it was strategic. It wasn't just powerful, it was precise. Its skull, teeth, and muscles worked together like a natural machine built for destruction. And that's far more terrifying than a big number. In fact, focusing on bite force alone misses the bigger picture. T-Rex was one of the most finely tuned predators to ever walk the earth, not because of a number, but because of how that power was applied. For years, we believed in a myth of brute strength. Today, we understand something far more impressive, an animal designed by evolution to dominate with deadly efficiency. If you thought T-Rex was scary before, wait until you understand how smartly it used its strength. And who knows, the next fossil discovery might change everything again. What other dinosaur truths might we have gotten wrong?